Hey guys, what is up? It is Dangeles, and welcome back to episode 231 of Constructing Los Angeles. We're back to building today. Last episode was a recap. We went over everything we've done in the last 20 episodes, and today is going to be the first building episode of TU31. So that's right guys, yesterday the new update came out for Minecraft. We got a bunch of new stuff. I'm going to use a couple of those things in today's video. But overall, I'm pretty excited to kind of implement some of the new blocks and new features into the city. So we're going to kind of get started with that today. But my plan is ultimately to start working on the Nether Leather clothing store, which is going to be right in between Flower Pot Coffee Shop and Papa's Pizzeria and the apartments above, in the area that used to be the plaza, but now it's basically just kind of like a space. So that's the plan today. I'm going to start building this place. It's going to be kind of like an enlarged version of the one that you've seen on Survival Island Season 3. And if you don't know what that looks like, I'll put it up on the screen right now. That clothing store is pretty cool though. I think it's a nice design. I love the blocks that we used. I'm gonna have to kind of implement some of those designs into the city texture pack because they were really based around the default. So that's gonna be probably the biggest challenge of this, but I think it's gonna be a pretty fun thing to try. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's get started here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm basically just going to build the same store, just on a bigger scale. That's really like my initial idea, and we'll see what happens from here if I need to like tweak things, but I think this should be pretty solid. So let's at least get started here. So actually let me make sure that this is like out to like a point where I can actually like see the dimensions. I probably shouldn't delete that right away, but anyway guys, we have a question today to get to in a little while. Just gonna talk about the new update a little bit and just go from there. So while I kind of get started here on this thing, so alright, here's what my first idea is, to do something like this. I'm going to put in like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to be right here as well. So that's going to be 5. I'm actually going to make this netherrack. And then I'm going to do a lining of polished granite. That's the block I'm going to use for like the base of the building. It's going to be like the primary texture that we're going to use. I really like polished granite in the city texture pack, so we're going to try to take advantage of it and use it. So let's come over here and do the same kind of idea. So I think it's 2 blocks in. So like this lining right here, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 out with some netherrack. 2, 3, 4. And if I'm using netherrack because after all it is a nether themed store, so it might look a little weird at first, but I'm sure it'll come together nicely. I'm probably gonna take these out an extra couple of blocks here, make it 7 as opposed to just 5, because this is a big space. It's way bigger than the space that was originally designed for this, so we're really going to have to make sure that we account for all that, because it's going to be a much bigger building for sure than it was on the island. So that's going to be like the one thing that's going to be tough about this, trying to recreate it, I guess. But at least I'm starting off with some sort of design here. I think this will look pretty good. I'm going to start with these 2 pillars, and this is going to be kind of the front. And then in between here, there's going to be some black stained glass. We're going to add that in. But what do you guys think about the granite in the city texture pack? I think it looks pretty good, actually. I'm going to definitely be using it. I do like all the features of the new city texture pack, like all the, whether it be granite or andesite or diorite. I like all these. I like the red sand. I forgot to mention in my overview yesterday that there actually is red sandstone stairs, but they don't really look too great in this texture pack, so probably won't be using those a whole lot, maybe for some certain builds. And some other people were suggesting during the live stream last night that I implement some red sand into the desert. That's definitely a good idea that I'll definitely look into for sure. And speaking of that, we did live stream last night for the first time since like August. Did some survival on a brand new world, and I might do a stream highlights video for that. I haven't decided yet, but if you missed that stream, but you can watch it on Twitch. It's there. It's in the past broadcasts. I might just upload the full stream to YouTube. That's another possibility. So I'll make a decision on that probably later today. But that is the plan right now. But we are just trying to get some stuff done in Los Angeles. That's mainly the primary goal. So just going to start this building. And so far, I think we have something that looks pretty nice. Let's see. So this goes up like 4 blocks. We're probably going to have to take this across now. I'm going to grab some black stained glass, and we're going to kind of make a door right here. And we're going to make another one right here. And this would kind of close up at nighttime when the store closes. And this street lamp right here, right in the middle, is actually being kind of a pain in the butt. Let me go ahead and scrap this real quick, just so I can kind of see it better from a distance. I'll leave the anvil in the quartz block because I'll probably end up putting it back. But yeah, that's, geez, now there's another one I'm bonking into. Yeah, so that's a pretty good start. I like this. Make it a little bit taller, though. I'm going to have to go up like one extra block with some glass. And I might even make these panes one extra block tall as well. So I'll take this out like this. And then the next order of business is to add in some slabs. So I'm going to take these all the way across the top of the glass. And we built this thing in a survival island, and it only took us like an episode, honestly, to build the entire thing, but you have to understand it was way smaller at the time, so it'll definitely take longer to build this one, which is fine. Maybe 2 episodes. Maybe I'll just do 1 episode of it, and then I'll finish it up off camera. Haven't decided yet, but I'm just going to get started with it today. Alright, so let's see. That looks pretty good. That's a good start there. So really the next thing I have to do is put some slabs on top of this and on top of this. And then really how this design works is it actually kind of continues through here. So kind of go like that. And add some extra slabs. Same thing right here. And this pretty much goes, it's like a little wall that comes on the inside, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that yet. So that's cool. And then next thing I'm going to do is take some extra slabs across right here. And then we're going to start to add like this front wall here, which is going to be where the sign is going to be. And I don't think we're going to have enough space on this build for the entire sign, but that's okay. This is going to be like a really unique looking store just up compared to everything else in the city. It's going to be kind of like the Outback across the street, like just a bunch of different blocks that you don't really see a whole lot in Los Angeles, which is cool. I don't mind that. Again, I'm not using any stained clay because that was kind of like the main block I used in the default when I built this thing on a smaller scale. I used stained clay, and that worked really good. So obviously, I'm not a huge fan of stained clay in the city texture pack, so I probably won't be using it, but it did work really nice in the default, so that is just at least something to keep in mind. Alright, so that's good. That's tall enough. Let's go ahead and put a top off on this thing with some quartz. And now the next thing I gotta do is add in the letters. So hopefully this is gonna be a good number here. So this is an odd number, which is fantastic. That's just what I needed. That would have been terrible if that wasn't an odd number. Okay, so this will go up right here and right here. And then I'm going to add in the upside down stair, which would be right here and like that. And that's going to be the N on the front, which stands for nether. And the nether leather. I might actually see, like, that's the same size N as I had on like the original building. So I could make it larger on this one because there's more space. I'll try that at first, and then I might change like the front wall a little bit. We'll try this to start though. So I'll make this a little bit bigger and see how that looks. So that means the quartz will start here, and then it'll run to here. I think that will look pretty good. Let's see if that looks a little bit better. It's like a larger N. I don't know. I think that does actually look a little bit better. Maybe not with the. I might change the bottom of it though. Put some slabs in instead of some full blocks to kind of like for each corner of the word or the letter. All right, we'll put that in here and do something like that instead. That might look a little bit better. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. All right, we'll go with that for now. Might change it though, but that's at least a start. So there's the little nether leather sign. I like it. We have to add some more color into this though because it's too much granite at this juncture. I think I'll probably add in a lining of netherrack just like right below this, just to add a little bit of a different color, different theme. All right, so that'll be put in. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. All right, so that's cool. Next thing I might do is something like this. I might actually like lower this just so it's not like all one plane, because it is going to be a little bit different on a larger scale, so I can make changes. Yeah, all right, that's cool. Just a little bit. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. All right, that's good. So let's go ahead and take these walls up right here. And these are going to go up probably like 6 or 7 blocks. I'll probably make these a square. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll make this a square. These side walls, I might put windows in these. I have space to put windows in these now because I didn't have that space before. So I could put a window like that, just a small window looking into the store. Because obviously people are going to want to do window shopping, especially in a city. So I could do that. That would make a lot of sense, actually. We'll do that, kind of frame the window. I might even make those windows larger at a later point, but let's just get started with something. We're just kind of, doing some preliminary stuff right now. We'll figure out everything later. All right, so I'm going to get to the question of the day in a little bit, guys. I just want to kind of get something started here. The question of the day today is like the novel of the day. It's a long question, so I'm going to have to actually stop like everything I'm doing to read it. All right, so let's go ahead and put in some extra polished granite right here and right here. And how's this looking? It's pretty big. It's pretty big. So let's go ahead and bring this across right here. Add some extra. We're just going to add a lining of slabs on the top of the whole thing. I think we originally did that on the survival world because we didn't want any mobs spawning in. So that looks pretty good. I think I want to make those walls on the side a little less large though. Either that or make the front thing wider. There's a couple of different options I can think of. Option one would be to move over this window 1 block. So now it's no longer symmetrical, but then I can change the height of this wall here. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. So like these last couple of blocks here can be like slightly lower. And that's still symmetrical. Yeah, that's going to be good. In fact, what we could do something like this. This might look pretty good. Let's try this out. We'll see if this is going to work. But I could actually push this in 1 block like this. And then have it be 1 block shorter. Because that would just make it look a little bit more indented and nice, like that. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. That adds some more shape to the place. I like that. All right, let's implement that on the other side real quick, and then I am going to answer today's question of the day. It's a big one. So again, like I said, I gotta stop everything I'm doing to make sure that I can read this thing because it's a novel. It's a short story. All right. Let's get this going. And then I think next thing to do is add some more shrubbery to the front. I'm going to start implementing some of the new flowers and things like that to the place. And I'm going to be doing that throughout the city, like over the next few days, trying to like TU31ify everything. So that's a good looking start to the front of this place. I like it so far. So let me go ahead and quickly answer today's question of the day. So today's question of the day comes from Kipper Bill. And the question is, hey Dan, I have a cool idea for when you finish Xbox 360 Los Angeles. When you have all that new space on Xbox One, could you basically enlarge Los Angeles? What I mean is push the desert region out and make it more big and real and push the houses to another spot and make more skyscrapers in their place. This does sound like an ambitious first step, but if you understand what I mean, it could make Los Angeles all the more impressive. How does that sound? Hashtag question of the day. So thank you very much for that question, Kipper Bill. So let's go ahead and start to dive into this thing. I'll take it kind of one step at a time. Basically what you said is pretty much exactly what I'm planning to do in Los Angeles, and I've talked about this before when I moved to Xbox One, is I want to turn it into like a state more than just a city. So I am going to like spread everything out, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to go ahead and kind of show you guys what this place looks like on the Xbox One when you actually load up the world with an expanded seed. So we're here on an expanded Xbox One seed of Los Angeles, and this seed actually just recently changed with the brand new update. I've actually like opened this up and looked at it before, and I kind of had a general idea of what I planned, but actually I just loaded this up and it's actually now completely different because there's new biomes and stuff like that. So the entire area is like completely different than what I originally thought. So I'm actually going to go through this right now and just kind of, give my 2 cents on what I think of all this stuff. So right off the bat, off the corner of the city here in the downtown area, there's a lot of green, which is really good. So the most likely what will happen is I'll expand this road right here, and I'll expand the highway right there and push it all the way through. Probably clear it out or flatten out some of these mountains in the future, and just basically turn this whole green area where there isn't any, desert biomes or stuff like that, or swamps, maybe one swamp, but turn this all into like expanded city, expanded downtown area. And as you can see, it just kind of continues onward and onward, looking pretty good right here. So this is off to a good start. Let's just kind of fly around like the perimeter of the world and just kind of make sure that I can kind of plan everything out, because I know who knows what it's going to be like on the other sides of the map. So let's keep flying up here. The thing about these new worlds on Xbox One now, the large ones, they're actually a lot of water now because obviously they added ocean monuments and deep oceans to the game. So I think they should change that a little bit, tweak the biomes a little bit, because this seems like there's like 70% ocean and like 30% water in these worlds nowadays. And obviously ironically that's exactly how the Earth is, but I mean it just doesn't really work in Minecraft. It's not enough space to build. So right here looks pretty good, right off the edge of the strip mall. Just flatten out this space and turn it into some more stuff. So this is fine. I can work with this for sure. I'm just worried that I'm going to run into like a desert biome. Okay, so right here, it used to be like grassy plains and stuff like that, and now it's just a big old desert right on the other side of my neighborhood, which is really unfortunate. So that's not good. That's going to be hard to kind of work around. We're going to have to figure that out. It's not a huge desert, so it's not the end of the world, but that is unfortunate. So it is what it is. Let's keep on going. Obviously, this looks pretty good here. I can clear out this root forest, and that's just more green space. As long as I have green space, I'll be happy. Let's see. Let's go fly over near the Alpine Mansion. So the Alpine Mansion, I think it originally had a desert over here, but now it looks like this is just an ocean, so I don't mind that. This actually isn't too bad. If there's going to be a spot for an ocean, this is a good spot for it, right off the edge of the Alpine Mansion. That way, you know, this stuff right here still makes sense, like this kind of beachfront area. So that's fine. I actually don't mind that. That's okay. As you guys can see, like it's just a big ocean, like right around the edge of the world, and that's going to be tough for like certain spots. Like I'm hoping that we open up into a continent right here. That way, I don't have to make like, for example, this highway right here. This highway is just going to have to like run like straight across the ocean for who knows how far until we run into a biome. So that's going to be kind of unrealistic, which is unfortunate. So wow, this is a big ocean. Holy crap, man. This is just going to keep on going. I'm just going to keep going until I run into a biome. Here we go. So again, that's like really, really far, and it's not even like a good biome. It's like ice, and this keeps going. So that's a problem. That's going to be something that's going to be difficult to work around. So again, it's going to affect my decision making when it comes to like finishing up this world on 360, because I know what's coming for me on the you know, on the new biome. So, and every single time you kind of convert it over, it gives you the same biome. So unless there's a new update, so that's something maybe I'll wait a little bit longer, and maybe they'll tweak this a little bit. Right over here we have some ice and things like that. Ice stinks because you can't get rid of it, and it just kind of sits there. So luckily for me, though, it seems like there is an ocean biome right off the edge of my actual ocean. So we have a little bit of an ice spot right here. What I'll probably end up doing is either like breaking this and then switching out with sand and try to just make like a little sand dune here in the water. That would be like the only thing I could think of, because this sucks right here. That having this little ice patch here is not good. So let's see. So we have basically just like ocean biomes going around. So not the best seed in the world outside of the, you know, the city limits right now. We're gonna have to work with it. We're gonna have to really tweak some things and do some brainstorming. But here's what it looks like, guys. So let's go back to the building. That's really like my plan right now. It's gonna be like a whole state. Like that's the goal for this world, just to turn it into just a huge idea. But I totally understand what you're saying, and like what you're saying is pretty much spot on. That's exactly kind of what I'm planning to do with the city when I move it over. So the answer to your question is absolutely yes. Some of the stuff though, like I'm not going to move anything from the initial seed. I think you might have suggested that. Everything, all that stuff is going to stay the same, but I am going to like expand out like in different directions as far as I can. Like it's going to be like much more widespread than it is now, because I know everything is kind of close together since it's an Xbox 360 save. So that's going to change drastically in the update, or when I update it over to Xbox One. So thank you very much for that question, Kip or Bill. You guys can leave your questions in the comment section or send them to me on Twitter, and I'll go through those for next time. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and get some coarse dirt out. Let me see if I can find that. That's still getting used to like where everything is now in the new stuff. So here we go. I could use coarse dirt. I could use regular dirt. To be honest, between the two, I prefer regular, just because I think the texture of it looks a little bit better. But coarse dirt's really nice because you don't have to have like a border around it. Like you can put right next to grass and it'll be okay. But I think I still might do regular dirt for this because there's no grass here, obviously. And this is desert grass anyway, which is just absolutely terrible. So let's go ahead and just put some regular dirt in here. I'm just going to do some little patches. And plus, it actually putting the border on the dirt actually looks pretty good anyway. So that's fine. I mean, it really just it depends on like what you want to do. Like for the city, it looks good with a border. For something else, might not look as good. So I think I'm going to do that. Something like that right there. Do that on both sides. And let's see, did I do it from here? Yes. Do that on both sides, and I'm just going to put a nice little patch of different kinds of new flowers and like some tall grass and stuff in these little patches right in front, just to make it look a little bit prettier. And I'll be doing, like I said, I'll be doing this for like everything. Okay, so let's get some rose bushes, some peonies, and some lilacs, and some tall grass. So let's try to like make this very organized. So I'm going to put like a lilac here, and one like there, just kind of like on those sides. And then maybe like a rose bush right under the window. A couple of tall grasses. Put like tall grass like that. And then maybe a couple of peonies out in front, and that's kind of how we'll do that. I think that's good. All right, so rose bush there, tall grass, kind of checkerboarding it, and then some peonies. I would say peonies are my favorite for the city texture pack, so I'll put those out front. And just like that, we have ourselves a little bit of a nice fancy design out front. And as you can see, like this stuff over here, like this is the kind of stuff that I can switch out for, you know, the new stuff basically. And like same thing right here in front of the McDonald's. That's all the stuff that I'm going to be coming through and fixing up. But that's kind of like a little idea of what that looks like. I think that looks really nice. All right, so let's keep on going from that. What else can we work on today for this place? Let's go ahead and start to expand this thing and start to work on the interior a little bit. I'm going to do like the roofing, because I think that's going to be an important thing to work on. And I'll do like the outside floor plan as well. And that's kind of like what I'll focus on for the rest of this episode. So this is going to go out like this, and it's going to kind of expand. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab some netherrack, and I'm going to just kind of expand this outer layer here and just kind of put a floor plan in for this. That's going to be kind of like the next goal. So let's see. We have, that's going to go there. So this will be the next thing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. And I think that's how this works. Yep, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have some sort of wall coming out right here. And same thing on this side. So let's see. This would expand right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll have a wall coming across right here. I might have to move that. That might be a little bit in the way. All right, so we'll do something like that. And this is kind of like something I did on the survival version. I kind of had this little wall that kind of stuck out here. And I thought it looked pretty nice, so we'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is it 3 blocks out? Yeah, 3 blocks will do. That's fine. So as you can see, it's kind of just like this little extra wall on the side. I think it looks pretty nice. This is going to be a nice little store here in the city. I think it fits well. All right, so next thing we're going to do is kind of continue this floor plan here. So how this is going to work is I'm probably going to, wait, what's this block doing here? Is that even necessary? I don't think it is. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be there. Okay, so anyway, let's see. So we're going to kind of have the same thing going right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll probably push this in and kind of take this back on like the right track here, back onto like where the red wool is. Kind of have this go all the way down. This is going to be the kind of the base of the place. Have this run all the way down. All right, so then right here, we're going to take up a wall. Actually, you know what? I did need that wall there because I need to kind of extend that around the corner. Yeah, okay. I was wondering why that was there. I guess we'll do that. And this is going to go up to right there and come across to here. And we'll do the same thing. We'll have like one small window on this. So we'll have that there. And then we'll put the window inside of there later on. Actually, that block's going to get broken. So there we go. And then I'll probably actually just kind of fill this in on the inside. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so something like this. Take this across. This is going to go around like that. And same thing right here. And then what I have to do is kind of continue this. So this is going to kind of continue. And then this is going to be a tall part here. So this is going to start getting taller. And this will run across right through here. And through here. And this is going to be like kind of where this connects. Okay. So we'll take this across like that. And then this whole space in here is just going to be flat. With just some slabs. Maybe put a skylight in here later on. But as of right now, probably not. And I don't know like if I'm sold on the nether brick. It is pretty, I don't know, I've never really used it in this texture pack. I don't know how I like it. So we'll see if it stays. Again, I want to try to keep the theme of this place. It's going to look a little weird for sure. It's going to be a little, might look a little bit out of place. That's like the one thing I worry about with this kind of stuff. It's like I don't want anything to look out of place. And with like using these kind of blocks, it might look a little bit out of place, but we'll try our best to kind of blend it in. Okay, I need some black stained glass. Here we go. Put a block there. Take this up. And put a block there and there. All right. So let's fill this in like that. And this is just kind of like a basic look of how this is going to be on the inside. We'll take this in as well. Okay. And this will go around the corner like that. Sweet. Okay. And this also will expand and continue to go up. Same thing on this side. Kind of figure this out. Okay. There we go. So that's kind of like a start. And of course this is going to extend around the corner here. And run all the way across. So that's kind of like a good start, I would say. Let's take a look at this from the front. This place is going to be pretty big for sure, but I like the way we have a good start here. I think this is a solid for sure to get started. Let's take this out a few blocks. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's perfect. Kind of have this go out like that. Turn back in and run all the way across. And this is just going to be a little, front sign thing here. It's just not really needed to have this thing sticking out like this, but we're going to do it anyway. I'll probably put a skylight in here as well at some point. So we'll get this filled in, and then this is going to go up. And same thing right here. Okay. And now, last thing I'm going to do for today, guys, is I'm going to just add a little skylight here. And this is something I did on the survival version of it, so. Okay, so let's see. The skylight will probably end up being like right here. And it's going to look a little bit something like this. And then this will get filled in here. And that's basically how it's going to look from walking in, right? So you'll walk in. It's going to be a pretty tall ceiling. You can kind of see the skylight up there. So that's going to be cool. And I think that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We got a good start here on this nether leather building. I'll probably continue to work on this off camera and see if I can kind of, perfect this design. Might need to make a couple of changes to it, but I think it's a good start. I'm just going to add, real quick, I'm just going to add some nether brick to this place. Nether brick fences, I should say. I'm going to put one right here, just kind of right out front, just to kind of connect this. And one right here as well. Whoops, that did not work out. Alright, so let's take this back up right here. And there we go. Let's take a step back here, take a look at it. I think it's looking good so far. Good start for sure on this place. So thank you guys very much for watching. It has been Dangeles. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of CLD. First episode of the new update. We got plenty more episodes to come. And good start here on this nether leather building. Again, it's a little out of place with like the block placement right now, but I think we just got to get used to the new block. Like granite is a brand new block, especially in the city texture pack. So still got to get used to that color because it's definitely a more unique color for sure. So we'll get used to it, but I think it's going to kind of blend into that street very nicely. So with obviously with the flower pot coffee shop in the outback, we already have some pretty exotic colors on this street already. So I think it'll blend in real nice. So thank you guys for watching. It's been Dangeles. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a question of the day submission if you want to in the comment section. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.